Hey, everybody. Okay, so today I kind of wanted to talk about the situation that has been circling the internet regarding Tyrese Gibson. If you're unfamiliar with Tyrese Gibson, he is a actor, singer, don't think a dancer. I'm not really sure on that one, but baby boy. He's in the Fast and Furious movies. Pretty much if you grew up in the 90s, you should know who Tyrese is. So moving forward, there has been something circling the internet since yesterday when he posted a video that was basically an outcry to his daughter, well, his mother's or his baby mother. So I kind of wanted to share the video clip first, and then there's a couple things that I wanted to discuss in terms of not only the video, but kind of some of the stigma centering the video and the cultural differences that are happening just from this video. It really speaks volumes to where we're at right now when it comes to mental health for our community. So let me find this video. Okay, so me. Okay, so that is the video of him basically pleading for his daughter. Um, if any of you follow Tyrese or even in the slightest follow anything, any of his work, you might be familiar with the custody battle that is ensuing between him and his ex when it comes to, I think she's preteen, his preteen daughter. Um, Basically, what it comes down to is there have been allegations from the mother stating that Tyrese has assaulted the daughter by physically attacking her and putting, I guess, his body weight on her and hitting her to the point where the girl couldn't even sit down. And the mother has sought a restraining order. She has basically really reached out to the courts to kind of shield her daughter from him. Now, I don't live in his world. None of us that are watching this live in his world. As we can all see, this is a man that is completely upset and broken, but we do not know the full story. But um, some of the comments, you know, one person, damn, pull it together, bro. Life's hard, but there are way more people in a lot worse situations than you. Pull it together, Tyrese. Come on, man. Um, Another person said, is he fake crying? Another person says, more money, mo money, basically pretty much saying like, more money, more problems. People are asking, where's his new wife at? That was its own media outlet circuit with, him calling her his black queen and other people kind of coming for him, saying she's not black. I believe she is black. I didn't swab her and do a DNA test, but people want to say I'm not black and I know I'm black. So, that's just neither here nor there. That's not even what this video is about. Um, this video really is about the fact that you have a man that is crying his heart out and saying, you know what? I have all of these issues and I'm pleading. I'm showing my weakness. If you are familiar with the African American male, not just the African American community or the Black culture, you know that showing weakness, whether it's male or female, but especially our males, is very hard. Other males are extremely hard on other males that show emotion. Females are hard on males that show emotion, but in the same breath, you will have these very same females saying, oh, I'm in a relationship. He's acting cold. You know, he acts like he doesn't care two shits about me. Oh, so you don't care about me? You don't have any feelings for me? You know, what, you cheating on me? Like all these things that come about a man not showing emotion, it becomes insecurities from the females. Then you have the males that are like, oh, stop being a punk. You know, you're sitting up here, you're crying, like the other person said, there's other things that are going on. Okay, but this is his daughter. We have to understand this is his daughter. This is the person, this is, you know, his life. I mean, in our African American communities, it is very hard to find Black males that are represented in the households, whether they are living as a nuclear family where it's the mother and the father together in the household as one, or you know the parents have separated and they're co-parenting in the most natural, appropriate, nurturing way they possibly can to ensure that the child or children are not affected as much as possible, which sometimes seems like a very daunting task, but it can be done. There are people that have successfully co-parented strong individuals of society that are upstanding, and that's that. So it can be done when both parties mutually agree and put their differences aside. So moving forward, sorry guys, my eye just started itching. Um, Moving forward, when it comes to African American males, there is the stigma associated with weaknesses. You know, African Americans, they are the least likely to seek help for mental illnesses. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Most males in general are least likely to seek help for even if they're sick. So seeking help for when they don't feel sick and they feel like it's a sign of weakness because media and their own community and their people and their confidence have told them that's a sign of weakness. We have to look at this at a bigger picture, even outside of Tyrese. We have to really look at it and say, you know what? There is something that is stigmatizing our community, and that is saying that a Black male cannot show weakness. You know, they say, you know, if a man isn't willing to cry, he's definitely willing to beat you. And I don't agree with that, but there's, you know, a lot of people that believe that they're gonna get the emotion out somewhere. Some men might, you know, hit the gym and talk to their buddies and try and have an outlet there. But a lot of times it's this, you know, keep it to yourself. Grown men don't cry. I mean, you know, you look at little children, the little boys, and, you know, the first thing they see the boy crying, and it's like, dry those tears up. Just stop acting like a little girl. You know, they are conditioned from early childhood to keep sucking those feelings down, suppress them, don't show any emotion. You need to be the strong one. You cannot be weak. You cannot show weakness. You must always be the warrior. You must be the strength. You must be the backbone. You must be everything to everybody. And if you're not, you're weak, you're punk, you're just worthless. You might as well just be a girl. I mean, everything, we've all heard it before. And I'm sure if people were being real with themselves, there's been times even in our own relationships, females, where we have looked at the guy beside us and we're like, why aren't you showing any emotion? I know what's wrong with you? Why aren't you like, you not showing any emotion? Like, what's up with that? Why they are being conditioned. So I'm not even surprised by the comments, and I read through the comments on his Instagram page, but I wasn't going to read through all of them. If you want, you can go on his Instagram page and, scroll through the comments. But most of the rhetoric is people basically saying, boo hoo hoo, dry your eyes. At least you have $13,000 to pay somebody a month. Man, can I get a chunk of that? Just basically everybody downplaying his real reality. Like, we cannot negate the fact that this is his reality. African Americans, like I said in my last video, are 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems than the general population. And a part of it is because we are telling each other to stop showing emotion. When you stop showing emotion, where do you think that emotion's going? I mean, it's not like it's just poop in the air, it's gone. Like, you are in your own mind at that point, and you are going to find another outlet to actually deal with the emotions that people are telling you to suppress down. Our community, especially males, deal with major depression, attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, suicides among young African American men is rising. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, the list goes on. African Americans experience certain factors that increase their risk of developing mental health conditions, and a part of it is our own community stigmatizing our men to say, stop showing emotion. I think there's something where people think that if a man that's straight, non homosexual, sorry, tired, heterosexual, there we go. If he is showing emotion, then he is perceived to be homosexual. First of all, there is nothing wrong with being homosexual. If you're homosexual, that's fine too. You shouldn't be stigmatized because you are in the African American community. Also, for heterosexual males, you shouldn't be made to feel like, oh, if you show emotion, you're a homosexual. And first of all, using homosexual as an insult is ignorant in and of itself. That is a whole group of people that you should not be using their life choices and styles and how they were born as an insult to other people that do not associate with that community. That's ridiculous. Homelessness, and like I said, this video it touches on Tyrese, but the bigger picture is the African American men in our community suffering because they are being stigmatized for showing emotion. So people experience homelessness are at a greater risk of developing mental health conditions. African Americans make up 40% of the homeless population. 40% of the population. Now, we all are aware that systematic racism plays a part in this, socialism plays a part of this, classism, all of these economic standing points plays a part in this, but we have to understand that mental health also plays a portion in that percentage. We cannot act like it is all just one part of the pie and there's not a big picture that all comes together as one. Also, at early ages, young men, African American men, being exposed to violence increase the risk of developing a mental health condition such as depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic disorder. African American children are more likely to be exposed to violence than other children. Nobody wants to believe it, but it's the truth. Most African American households are not living in the 1%. Let's be real. We are living in a society where we are completely oppressed by systematic oppression. You want to say pick yourself up by your bootstraps, but first you must have boots to pick yourself up by those bootstraps. And we know that unless you are making your own money or you're essentially cooning for the dollar, chances are you're not always going to be at the top and the cream of the crop when it comes to making the dollars that your white counterparts are making. So that in and of itself, if we're telling our men to be strong and to be the breadwinners, that is feeding into their depression. They are going to feel depressed because they are going to feel like they are not worthy. Here you have a man that is paying a woman $13,000 a month and he is still upset and crying because why? The money isn't what he cares about. He cares about seeing his daughter. Now, that's not to negate the allegations that she's stating that there has been abuse taking place. I don't know if that is true. I know there is still a pending court case that perhaps it is true, and maybe he's just playing to the camera because he's an actor. I don't know. Like I said, the focus really isn't on him. This is just to kind of connect some of the points that I'm making about African American males that need to be seeking treatment, and our community, females especially, raising these young men. You can raise them to be tough and strong, but you need to be raising them to also show emotion. You do not want another man in our community that lacks emotion, that feels a constant uh, buildup of aggression or anger, or feeling like they're unwanted in their own community, and then they stray outside of their community seeking acceptance because we're trying to make them strong because we know the world is harsh. But when they are children, we have to make sure that we're understanding that they are going to show emotions. They are just as sensitive, if not more sensitive, than other children. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on in our community that are affecting our children at a very young age. So I just kind of wanted to make this video and really hear what your thoughts are, about African American males and the mental health awareness, and also the fact that most African American males are not even in the household, so we also have that we're dealing with. And I think for a man to show that he really wants to be around his daughter in this case, but his children, is something to be applauded, if, of course, the allegations aren't true. So I think we really, as a community, need to look within ourselves and say, what are we doing to hurt ourselves mentally? What are the controllables? Because we know there are a lot of uncontrollable factors that are happening in our that are happening to our community. Being constantly oppressed by the oppressor. There is the constant, you're trying to get your education. I mean, African American females are currently at the highest level of seeking higher degrees than any other race or gender, but yet we are still paid less than people, our white counterparts that don't even have a degree. I mean, you can have an undergrad degree and you can be sitting next to your white counterpart that doesn't have an undergrad degree, and you're making 30 some $1,000 and they're making $80,000. That's the reality of the situation. That might be a whole nother video because I do have some thoughts on, the whole rhetoric of higher education. Although I am getting my master's and then my PSYD, I do feel like there's some things that need to be discussed on that. So that will be in the upcoming video. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. And I really want to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts in reference to African American males showing emotions and the effects that our community has had on their lack of emotion? And when they show emotion, you know, the backlash that they receive, not only from men, which you kind of you pretty much expect, but also from the women. We're supposed to be the nurturing ones, but we're just as bad when it comes to putting down our men and saying that they need to be strong. And when they even show a tear, which is really not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of being a human and showing emotion and showing that you care. Showing that you care is not a weakness. So bye, guys. I hope to hear and see you soon. Thank you.